How's it going, everyone? Today it is, I was going to say Monday. It's Wednesday, March 6th, 2024, and we have the video for today. So let's go over our long-term market buys, starting with our fundamental drivers. Again, no major news in the last few weeks, but we have some information coming out. We have the unemployment report coming out on Friday. ISM services came in yesterday slightly lower than expected, but pretty much in line, 52.6 versus 53. We are still in expansion territory, which is good news in my opinion. It's a signal of economic strength. Powell speaking today in Congress. He didn't say anything that we didn't know. He's basically saying we need more data before we lower rates, but we might expect some rate cuts this year. I still believe the market is optimistic about how soon those rate cuts are going to happen. I don't foresee them happening until the second half of the year, maybe even later. We know that the Fed wants to be doubly sure that inflation holds before taking the foot off the gas. Because the economy is strong, we have some more time, we have some more buffer to weather any sort of high interest rate environment. So that's what we're seeing fundamentally. Economy is strong, inflation is high but coming down, and interest rates remain high. Technically, again, our move is very strong here. Not a lot of very big dips, but since about February, so for the last month, the price action has loosened up a little bit. You can see here how it's very tight. And we got big drop from CPI, big move from NVIDIA. And then if you zoom in a little bit more recently, big move up on the 1st as we pop out of this compression, nice bullish flag to an all-time high. March 4th, a weak bullish trend day turns into a little bit of a bearish hammer. And we actually see a pretty deep selling where we erase all of these gains and have to come back and test this level for support. So that was a pretty quick test and a pretty quick move, right? It should be a slower move, or it should not go as far, right? If we look at this move here, big move up, this move doesn't even test most of these gains here in these last couple of days before we take off. So that tells us that buyers are still engaged at this level here. Buyers are not as engaged, and we needed another retest at this level. So we're still bullish, but not as strong, right? This is some signs of the buying pressure slowly waning. The frequency and the magnitude of this test was the warning sign. Let's zoom in into the current day price action. So we had a gap up early today. We tested the gap in the first half an hour, probe for support. We held half of that gap, and then we started to climb higher. And then over here, I'd say around 1030, 1035. I like this 1050 candle a lot, where we held and broke above VWAP. Erased this candle pretty quickly. This is pretty decent, steady buying. Volume is okay-ish here. Not the best, but not the worst. But this probe held, and we're moving ice and high. I like this little clue here from yesterday where gap and go bearish trend day, and then we formed a bit of a hammer in the last 30 minutes as there was profit taking and buying and some very, very heavy volume on that action. So our short-term trend is a little bit bullish. We're also into the gap, and we're fighting around the gap here to see if we will go higher or lower. My personal conviction is that I'm bullish. I think we found a little bit of support here at this level. We have made a new high for today pretty early in the day, and we are holding this gap support. This was a nice test here. A bearish hammer. Couldn't get through, and then we had this flat bottom HA candle at let's not look at that, at 1145, and we're starting to hold these gains here. So after this move, sellers are trying to knock it down at the gap. Buyers are holding these gains. When they give up, we are going to go higher. Our market components were pretty bullish as well. Tech was pretty strong. VIX is pretty low. Bitcoin is doing very, very nicely. And I originally categorized it under flight to safety, but I'm not sure how accurate that is going to be. So it hit an all-time high yesterday. And today it gapped up and it's holding some of the gains. So I don't really trade crypto, but I trade stocks that are based off of crypto. The main thing is that VIX is pretty low. Mega cap tech is not super strong, but Nvidia is doing quite well. And I believe that, yes, Amazon is also doing, or sorry, Meta is also doing quite well. So if I was a swing trader here, this is a nice opportunity to enter some swing longs, but to keep it shorter term with a CDS because we had a pretty big rejection here on the 4th at this horizontal level. If you are taking a shorter term trade here, there's a nice area to put your starter positions. And as we're confirming up higher, I would actually be adding over here as the market is making a new high and the positions are working in your favor. So I realized in the last video we didn't go over the prior picks. So let's quickly look at that first with spot. So we took spot over here. We actually traded it here, took profits here, and then re-entered the trade on the 1st. Ended up hitting our profit target again on the 4th. And we took some nice profits on Monday here in the close, and we actually added to that position along the way. So if we look at the market here on Monday, oops, here's the 4th, right? As it's going flat and pulling back, every time it's pulling back, you see it's surging higher. We're adding on these bouts of relative strength. So we added a couple times throughout here. We ended up having a 1.5x position, taking our full profit. So that was a very, very nice win on spot. The next one that we had was DG. Let's go back to our setup here. Nice break of compression through the 200-day SMA into the gap. So we had our profits at this gap fill level right here. Excellent relative strength the day before. And then as the market was going down, DG was grinding up higher, some money flowing in into staples, and we took profits at 154, pretty close to this gap resistance, which the stock is now testing. So DG also very nice win. Other pick that we were in was Netflix. Netflix took some heat as the market went down. Not super strong today, but we know it has big moves. It's finding some support at this level at the breakout. If we look into the M5 chart here, slowly picking up some support. So once we get through this high and it starts really showing some nice relative strength, we can start to add to it, but not as keen on adding to it because it did not hold up very well during the market decline. That's not what we wanted to see. So we have to be extra sure that support is tested and convinced and the market is going to go higher. Other picks are MS PCS. This is taking some heat. So we sold the 88, 87 PCS here. Had a really nice breakout on the 4th. It did pretty well on the 5th. But what I didn't love was this very deep selling end of day at this level. So go over here. This $91 level is providing some resistance. Now we have some time for the stock. We are not going to panic out of the position, and we have plenty of support over here. Financials are pretty strong, but I do not like how it was sucked back in the range. So we're going to keep an eye on this, but it may end up being a dud. So no reason to panic. We have plenty of support over here. If the market is still bullish, then we have some tailwind to pick this stock up. So we're going to keep an eye on MS over here, but not our best pick. TMUS, we put a put credit spread over here. The 62.50, 160 expiring next week. That is doing really well. You can see how the stock makes big moves, compresses, big moves, compresses. So we entered on this pullback over here, and today it's breaking through some of the support and really getting out of this range. Because it's a pretty choppy stock, we don't have to worry about getting the direction absolutely right. It's moving away, and we're giving an immediate cushion to our position. So that is doing very, very nicely. And those are the picks for today. So let me get out of DG. We're still in Netflix, still in TMS, and still in the MS PCS. So what picks are looking very nice today? So a lot of nice breakouts. We're going to go over a few of them before I highlight the ones that I like. First is Lyft. So it digested some of these gains. We have a nice bullish flag over here. There is this long-term, super long-term trend line coming into play over there. I believe there's also a long-term gap fill at that level, which you don't have to worry about for a while. But it's good to just have these levels marked up over here so we know generally where some support and resistances. We can see here, right, there's a little bit of action at that level and it fights over it. So lift pretty strong. I think it could work for a short-term trade, a call debit spread. Now I'm in TSM. I actually took this as a day trade. Pretty choppy stock, but when it makes a move, it offers a really nice opportunity to day trade. So we're in the stock. We took it here, pulled back, nice little HA reversal, and now we are off to the races. So TSM is another nice breakout. Qualcomm is one I like a lot as well. A little bit loose price action, but poke back to the EMA, and now we're making a new high. Very, very strong move over here. So again, wait for a little pullback, wait for a little dip. It's compressing here, not really taking this next leg lower, so it have some relative strength. Wait for some relative strength to come back on this stock, but pretty nice daily chart. VRT also fairly steady daily chart, compresses, moves up, compresses, moves up. So that could work nice for a long-term swing. Toast broke through this level, pulling back a little bit over here. Pretty choppy intraday, but has a nice steady daily chart, stacking the gains, and it has some room till this relative high at around $26. So got a full dollar range there. NVIDIA is a rocket and it keeps on continuing. I'm trying to work on my longer term swings. So this might be a stock that I do a long swing on. I broke this level here, held up pretty well during the market decline. So there was a great entry opportunity, and I'd probably stick with it until I see some sort of bearish engulfing candle on the D1. All right, IBM is one I like a lot as well. So I actually took profits on this from here to here. And this is actually something I may re-enter. So I'm winning an IBM here because we broke this high from earnings. It took a while to digest the gains, took about a month or so. Now we are breaking above that level and we're testing it. And there's some buying here. So if we hold that level, and I like Dan's idea of a HA reversal off this level. So I have an HA reversal alert set here. So if we break this level with an HA reversal candle, I will go long, and I will probably take a CDS expiring this week. Given the nature of the stock, has nice runs, then it compresses for a while, nice runs, nice run, compresses for a while, nice run. And our market bias, we're a little bit less bullish because we've hit some pretty, some decent resistance so far at this level. So we have to be respectful of that move down. Let's keep looking at some other charts. VST, nice steady grinder, and then it has actually been absolutely taking off over here, stacked green candles. So this is also one I might try for a long-term swing. It's gone a little bit parabolic, so I'm waiting for this bearish engulfing candle on the D1. Looking at the stats, what this company is, it's some electric company, so I don't know why it is being so bought aggressively by institutions, but I'm just going to ride the trend until the trend tells me to stop. And then JPM continues onwards, and this is a nice steady grinding stock, and my plan is to honestly, I think this sets up for a really nice hold throughout earnings. Earnings is in about a month. Nice steady tight price action. I think you can take a long call expiring after earnings. The IV will offset any sort of premium decay, and as long as the market isn't horribly wrong, I believe JPM will do pretty well. You can see how it rallied into earnings all the way over here, compressed for a while, and now we're taking off on this next leg over here. So on these breaks of compression, I think that's a really nice entry opportunity. We're at a pretty decent price from yesterday, compressed for a little while, slowly kind of gliding up, moving up higher. So that is a nice pick. So I think my pick for the day is going to be IBM if we get the HA reversal off this candle. So that's what I'm looking for here. If we don't get the HA reversal off that pick, then I'd probably go with Qualcomm as a shorter term swing. Break of compression, retest, move up higher. Has some decent relative strength. I didn't love the move yesterday, but I'm really liking the move today. I want to see if I can give you guys a better pick. Better pick than Qualcomm. Toast is a little bit nicer. VST is pretty nice. eBay. We didn't look at eBay, but eBay's a really nice move as well. There's some resistance coming up at that level. So if IBM doesn't work out, let's go with Toast. Yeah, if IBM doesn't work out, we're going to go with Toast because it held up a lot better on the 5th than Qualcomm did, right? You can see how it held the gains a lot better. So that's what I like about Toast relative to IBM. This day was a lot less bearish than the prior day. So I would take it here and target somewhere around $26 because that is the high, or there's some resistance here and the all-time high is at $27. So we have some room until then, but very, very choppy stock. And this range has been in place for a while. So we have to respect it and we have to be careful at this range. If it breaks out of this range, then we have an excellent opportunity to ride the stock up higher. But you know, it's been beaten down for a reason. It's been grinding, finding a base for a long time. So until we are proven wrong on that base, we can't assume too much. So target your level at $26, see what happens. But Toast is my second pick of the day. So we're just going to add that to YouTube picks. So just to recap, IBM is the first pick. If it doesn't do well, then if it doesn't do what we want, which is the HA reversal candle again off of that D1 support, because we need to know that the sellers here have turned into buyers. When we know that, then we can ride it higher. So that is the video for the day, everyone. I hope that was helpful, and I will catch you all in the next video.